This is ACC College Hoops from Tiger Town, Clemson, South Carolina. Our matchup in ACC women's basketball this evening, the number 17 in the nation, the NC State Wolfpack on the road to take on the Clemson Tigers inside beautiful Littlejohn Coliseum. A quick peek at the standings in the ACC. The Wolfpack 8-1 on the heels of the Louisville Cardinals, undefeated in conference play. 3-6 is the record for the Tigers, looking for the upset victory against the number 17 in the nation, the visiting Wolfpack from NC State. It is so great to have you with us for our game this evening. Tom Wermy along with Kelly Dale. You look at the numbers in the ACC, they're dominated by NC State. It leads in 8 different statistical categories.
Yeah, and Tom, I love this Clemson team. They're young and they're talented, but they are given the tall task tonight of going up against the ACC's best three-point shooting team, as well as one of the country's best post players in Elisa Canane. She is the central focus for that offense inside. She can score with either hand. She passes out of the double team, and she will stretch you out and hit the three-point shot. And she's a terrific post player, but I love the matchup tonight against Kobe Thornton. She is everything for this Clemson team. When she is at her best, Tom, she's one of the best post players I have ever seen. Has got a terrific turnaround jumper, and she will protect the paint with her block shots and defensive presence. Number
44 is also one of the all-time best to wear a Tiger uniform. That takes us right to our Toyota starting lineup for the Clemson Tigers. Kobe Thornton. She is near the top of the all-time list in career points, rebounds, and block shots. We'll keep you updated on that as the game progresses. And the Toyota starting lineup for the NC State Wolfpack. You've got Aislinn Koenig, who is the three-point specialist, second all-time in made threes for NC State. And Elisa Canane, 11 double-doubles, and that leads the ACC. She's the only player in the conference to average a double-double in scoring and rebounding this season. The table is set. We're ready to go. It's the Tigers in the white, NC State in the black, and Clemson has our first possession of the first quarter. Brian Brunette, Kulani Spurlack, joined by John Capolino, our officiating crew. A three-pointer from the corner to get it started, trying to follow her own miss, and getting in there was Amari Robinson. The whistle stops play out of bounds and to NC State.
You see Westmore already shaking his head. That's what they want to avoid, is Clemson attacking those offensive rebounds. It's what they do best.
Wolfpack, the number 7 team in the nation, and for good reason. 19-1 on the season. They are 8-1 in conference play. And they have won 10 straight in this series against the Tigers, and 5 in a row since that loss in early January on the road at North Carolina. That bounces into the corner. Saved by Thornton. Tigers get a second chance at it. Spray, shot clock inside of 10. It's now to 7. They try to go inside. Robinson, and she spins it in.
Those are second chance points right now. Clemson very happy with their 2 offensive sets they were able to run. They got good looks in both possessions.
Wolfpack 5-1 on the road and 3-1 away from Raleigh in ACC play. That's a misfire from Brown Turner, but on the offensive glass, NC State able to put it up and good from Kayla Jones, and we're tied early.
Yeah, you'll see Clemson in that 2-3 zone for most of this game. It's difficult, though, to rebound out of it, and NC State takes advantage.
Shot comes up short. That's from Hannah Hank.
Hannah Hank started off that game against Virginia Tech, scoring 6 quick points. She was quiet for the rest of the game, though.
Canane the entry pass. Thornton defended it well. Jones regathers. Into the corner, Brown Turner with the follow-through and the 3.
Already multiple looks along the three-point line for NC State. As I said earlier, they shoot it better than anybody in this conference. They average 10 a game.
36% from beyond the arc, best in the ACC. That rattles off with Spray, who tried to answer with a 3.
Yeah, and she's one who will do it. When she gets going, she can put them up in a hurry.
Fancy dribble from Koenig. Canane thought about the 3. Koenig lines it up. Position inside, the miss from Brown Turner, and it's pulled down by Hannah Hank.
You see Clemson already trying to slow things down a bit. They want to play at their pace, which is not to get in that up and down game that NC State would prefer to play in.
Kendall Spray made 8 3-pointers in the win at Notre Dame earlier this season for the Tigers. And that tied a school record, although they turn it over on that possession. Jones in transition goes all the way for NC State.
Really poor defensive transition there for Clemson. Nobody even took the ball. That is rule number 1 in transition D. Find the person with the ball, and NC State completely goes to the hoop untouched.
It is a 7-0 run for the Pack since the Tigers got on the board first in this first quarter. Kayla Jones is a double-digit scorer, defending Thornton now. Elbow jumper is all net. Kobe Thornton, first 2.
That's what I'm talking about with her game. When she elevates and gets up in the air, her release is so high and it's tough to block.
She is the leading scorer for the Tigers, over 12 points per game. Crutchfield dribbles to freedom, misses the jumper.
And another offensive rebound for NC State.
Shot clock is at 5. Out of the corner and good. Brown Turner made one from the opposite corner earlier and now finds the mark from the near corner.
And that's a zone buster right there. When you start hitting shots from those positions, you're going to start making Clemson wonder about getting out of that 2-3 zone.
6 points now, Jakia Brown Turner. Freshman from Oxon Hill, Maryland. On the drive, Hank had trouble. That one spins off on a second effort. And now Crutchfield wants to run. Odd player break, tries to do it herself, and Thornton got a piece of it.
Yeah, well defended. She had 2 defenders on here. I think Crutchfield needs to dribble out.
Thornton, who starts the night with 135 career blocks, that is 3rd in school history. Catch your breath. Rapid first few minutes of this first quarter. Hank, 15 feet away, gets a kind bounce.
That's a good look there for Hannah Hank. She can hit that 15-foot jumper, and that will open up things inside for Thornton to get going.
Talked about Hank and her struggles in that most recent game at Virginia Tech, just 3 of 14 from the field. As a whistle stops play, just under 5 minutes to go. Destiny Thomas picked up the foul. And when we come back, Kelly Deo is breaking it down with the help of the Clemson Tigers. We'll talk about that 2-3 zone and see how they do it so well.
I'm with Amari Robinson, and she is going to walk me through the basics of the baseline of the 2-3 zone. It's actually something that I also ran in college. We did it almost every single game, so I'm very familiar. But I love finding out different principles for different programs. So what are some of the basic philosophies that you guys say in a 2-3 zone?
So for us, with the back line, we're big on communication. So like when we're on the wing, we close out anytime the ball comes to the wing, and then our guard will come and bump us back. And then the middle will either tell us whether to go to the sweet spot, which is known as the short corner, but we call it sweet spot, and then or also the corner. And then like anytime on the back line when the ball is down in the sweet spot, we kill with our middle, which is basically like a trap. Okay. But we use the term kill to just like keep them in there.
Awesome. So maybe a couple vulnerable parts of the zone, what would those be for you guys?
I think definitely would be like sweet spot and then the high post, just because like when we play teams with a lot of shooters, it's hard to like balance out because we're trying to stay on the perimeter, but we also have to watch the back line. So I think it's just like a big part, but I think communication really helps us out.
And they are playing a team that shoots the ball very well from outside, and that's what we've seen so far in NC State is they have kept people along the perimeter, and they are shooting shots out there. But Amanda Butler, what a great group of kids she has. I loved spending that time with Amari Robinson, and she's just a freshman, Tom, but listen to the way that she can break down the game. Just such a smart player inside the post.
And we'll have more from Kelly and the Clemson Tigers in Kelly's corner coming up at halftime, as we'll expand on those principles. And while we're talking about Kelly Dea, how about your 4 keys to the game, Kelly?
Well, they want to handle, NC State wants to handle Clemson's pressure. Right now, you see them picking up in full court. It's something that Westmore worked a lot in today in shoot-around. And then for Clemson, they want to limit the three-point looks. They haven't necessarily done that, early on in this game as NC State has found something. But how about the three-point look of Kendall Spray? Expect that to continue throughout this game.
34% on the season for Spray from beyond the arc. That's her 53rd made three of the year. And those 53 makes third most in the conference. Right back at you.
And that's where the 2-3 zone can break down. When you have a screener on the top of the zone, the wing has to know, do I go out and take the girl coming off the screen, or do I have to worry about the shooter in the corner? And NC State has really exploited this zone so far.
Third three-pointer of the game for NC State at the other end from Koenig. Kanane came over defensively as Destiny Thomas tried to drive, and now a whistle and a foul. A couple of players hit the deck, and the foul is on the Tigers and Hayes. And again, Kelly Deo's forward keys to the game for NC State and Clemson. Handle that full court pressure for Westmore and limit the three-point looks. Yeah, they make the most of any team in the conference as far as NC State is concerned.
Just makes their game so difficult to defend because they also have one of the best inside presence in terms of Kanane and Jones, who have a great tandem in the post. They're just a very deadly team to play against.
Well, Brown-Turner's made 2 3-pointers. Koenig just connected on a 3, and they average over 9 made threes per game, best in the conference, 10th in the nation. Taken back by the Tigers. That is the first turnover of the game for NC State as Cherry was able to grab it. Oh, driving all the way to the basket. Meertens on the drive.
And what a great look. Just a quick ball screen on the elbow, and Meertens has the advantage quickness-wise and gets to the bucket.
Meertens averages just over 5 points per game. Junior in a transfer from Stetson. Will rattle out. Offensive glass for NC State, a second chance. And a quick trigger from Koenig. Couple of threes and 6 points. Ace Koenig.
Great offensive rebound there by Jones. Tom, she's one of my favorite players on this NC State team. Doesn't get a ton of attention, but I just love her game.
At the other end, it's a 3 from Hayes.
Michaela Hayes had a career high against Virginia Tech. She was the only one in double figures for them, and she comes in quickly into this game and already scores. That says a lot.
That was knocked away from Koenig. Spray trying to beat everybody to the rim. Tried to scoop it off the square. Kept alive. Right back to Spray. Once a 3. Another chance for the Tigers. By the way, that 3 from Hayes, just her second attempt of the season from three-point real estate, and first make from number 24 in white, orange, and regalia.
Well, that's what happens when you have a career night. You gain a little confidence.
Shot clock is down to 4. Meertens a little strong. Wrestle for the loose ball. Held ball situation, and the arrow is going to favor the Tigers.
Great hustle by both teams there.
So a look at NC State this season for head coach Wes Moore. They shoot the 3 effectively, 36%, best in the conference. Rebounding margin, over 11 rebounds more than their opposition per game. That is the best in the ACC.
And right now that rebounding margin is even, so Clemson has to feel pretty good about that.
Close in the rebounding so far. NC State with a slim lead, 11-10. Straight away, and Jones rocking a 3-ball.
A lot of breakdowns right now, and NC State finding a lot of openings around that 3-point line. We talked to Amari Robinson. You saw it. She said communication is the #1 thing to have an effective zone, and right now nobody's talking.
7 points for Kayla Jones after that bucket. There is a foul on the play. There's Amanda Butler. Second season after winning 9 conference games a year ago. 3-6 in ACC play. Trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. As Kelly mentioned, their most recent game on the road at Virginia Tech on Sunday, and a loss, 71-50.
And that's going to kill you if you're Wes Moore, because that was a terrific box out. Everybody for NC State had a player on their back, and it was just an unfortunate bounce and went off of the NC State player.
33% shooting so far for the Tigers, but just about anything would be an improvement over the performance at Virginia Tech. Just 29% as a team. They don't get the roll there, and here comes Koenig.
Yeah, they're getting good looks. They're just not able to connect on them.
Cassell kicked it out, and it's a 3.
6 threes already for NC State. You think they're going to go to a man-to-man soon, Tom?
6 of 8 from distance in the game so far for NC State. The spin move on the block and off the glass, Amari Robinson.
I'd love to see a little more of that from Robinson. She's so capable on the post, and she can go one-on-one with anybody.
Healy, Jones, Brown, Turner, and Koenig have connected on threes, but that's going to be a traveling violation against the Wolfpack and their 3rd turnover of this quarter. We've only got 20.9 seconds to go.
Much better execution in the zone for Clemson on that possession there. They got to the shooters when they caught the ball. They were able to turn and help when they needed to, and they ended up getting a stop. It's got to feel good as you're playing a top 10 team, just making those little adjustments.
Tigers working for that last opportunity. The shot by Meertens came up short, but off of NC State. As Jada Boyd tried to get to it. 4 seconds even on the game clock for our first quarter. Largest lead in the quarter for NC State has been 8. Lopes in for Clemson. Seeing action in just her 7th game this season. Tries to loop it to Thornton, trying to beat the clock. Second chance, it'll bounce in. Amari Robinson, right before the buzzer of our first quarter.
The pass initially goes to Kobe Thornton. She misses, and then Robinson gets the putback, and her team needed that bucket going into the second quarter.
4 points for Robinson in the first quarter, and that last second basket. 22-18 after the first 10 minutes. NC State and Clemson, ACC women's basketball.
ACC College Hoops is brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. And Husqvarna. All-star lawns start with Automower.
NC State has the lead by 4. It was as large as 8 for the Wolfpack in that first quarter. On the road against the Clemson Tigers for Westmore. The NC State Wolfpack, number 7 team in the nation, and the numbers from that first quarter, and it features 6 of 8. 4 different players for NC State made threes in that first quarter.
Well, where Clemson is doing well is on the offensive glass. They have 8 O boards for 11 second chance points, as you see there. But for NC State, it's been their 3-point shooting. It's been, they've just been on fire from outside. Already Ace Koenig with 2 on the game, only 3 attempts. And you see a couple shots from the corner able to fall for Brown Turner. And that is the vulnerable spot in a zone, is that 3-point look. And right now, NC State making it very difficult for Clemson to be effective in that zone.
Koenig now, couple of threes. That means she has 266 made threes in her career. Second best in school history, trying to chase Jennifer Howard, who has the school record with 315 made threes. And Koenig coming off a performance where she made 4 of 7 from beyond the arc and scored 16 points in the most recent victory against North Carolina at home for the Pack.
Koenig, remember, just moved into that point guard position last season. It's not her natural position, so it's amazing to think that she's still able to find that 3-point look being in the point guard position.
Foul against the Pack. It's on Crutchfield, her first. Wes Moore, over 700 career victories in his 31st year as a college head coach.
The job Westmore did at Tennessee Chattanooga was just so impressive. He was the face of the mid-majors, going to consecutive NCAA tournaments, and nobody was surprised to see his success here at NC State.
Inside hoop from the Tigers, and they've cut the lead to 2 thanks to Robinson, who now has 8 points in the game. 2 straight Sweet 16s in the NCAA tournament for NC State, and 4 times Coach Moore has taken them to the tourney.
And he went to the Sweet 16, Tom, with 4 ACL tears on his roster last year. This has been a healthy team so far. Think about what he could do with this group this season.
Foul is on Spray, her first. Defending Koenig, who is playing her 109th game in an NC State uniform. The coach has used that same starting lineup all season long, which features Koenig.
And Coach Moore calls her the security blanket for this team. I think for him as well. He just always knows when she's on the floor and the ball's in her hands, things are going to be okay.
Opening moments of our second quarter. So glad that you're with us for ACC women's basketball. That'll be a 3-second violation against NC State, and its 4th turnover. And immediately, coach goes to the bench and calls on Canane. Thornton also in there. So the 2 players that we featured at the top of the broadcast and on the top of every scouting report for the opposition back into the lineup for their respective squads here in the second quarter.
Lisa Canane not able to score yet.
Out of bounds and to the pack. Thornton has 2 points on 1 of 2 from the floor. Canane is 0 for 2 from the floor on her field goal attempts.
Clemson in a little token pressure, just trying to slow down this NC State offense.
Koenig is open. Canane offensive glass against 2 Clemson Tigers. Tries to force it up on the backboard. It goes out of bounds and will stay at this end of the floor.
Lisa Canane used to the double team. This is what she's gotten all season long. Last year, she was just a freshman, so probably people didn't know who she was. But look at the numbers already. She's getting a double every time she receives the ball. Look at that post inside. And then Thornton with the double causes the travel. And that's Clemson ball. Good execution on the defensive end.
Canane is a player who averages 17 points per game, Kelly, and over 10 rebounds per game.
Yeah, first Hank pushes her up the lane, which is exactly where you want her, turns her into her help, which is Thornton.
Thomas off the mark and out of bounds, back to the pack. Canane also shoots a ridiculous percentage. Now, granted, most of the shots are from inside of 10 feet away, but she shoots 60% from the floor, yet to get in the box score for Canane, 0 for 3 from the floor.
Leads the league in field goal percentage, and you see the battle down low between Hannah Hank and Elisa Canane. Hank just trying to get her off of that deep block position. I thought doing a pretty good job, but that time there was a little more aggressive action, and you'll get a better look at it here. Yeah, just a tussle. I think you could have called, honestly, a double foul on that one.
Hank is 6'2", Canane right around 6'5". So giving up a few inches to Elisa Canane, a sophomore from Summerfield, North Carolina, rather. Koenig. That rims out. Mertens. Got it back on the drive, taking it right to Canane, holds her ground, but the rebound is up and good. That's Hayes.
Mertens has been so successful on the drive, getting to the bucket on multiple occasions. This time Hayes cleans it up.
5 points for Hayes. Canane has the layup.
Good lead pass there. Put the ball where she wants to go. All she has to do is grab it and score.
Double figures in 5 straight games in scoring for Canane after 22 points and 17 rebounds in the win Sunday at home against North Carolina.
17, not even her career high in rebounds. She had 19 earlier this season.
Yeah, against North Texas. Koenig cut off. by the defending of Destiny Thomas. They work it around for an open three, but a miss from Jones. So here's Robinson, show quarterback, the offensive set. Those are defense, too. I heard her talking to Kelly Deo earlier in Kelly's corner, and she was breaking it down. And we'll get more of that at halftime with the Clemson Tigers and Kelly Deo. Crutchfield got tangled up there with Robinson and a whistle.
We knew it wouldn't take that long for Elisa Canane to get going offensively, but right now she's trying to do enough on the defensive end to stop the inside of Clemson.
So Crutchfield removed from the lineup. 2 personal fouls on Crutchfield, number 3 in black, to the bench. Just over 6 minutes to go in our second quarter. Spray, Thornton in tight quarters. Scramble for the loose ball. And the arrow is going to favor the Clemson Tigers. '89th all-time meeting between the programs. NC State leads it 50-38. NC State has won 5 in a row here in Clemson, South Carolina. Shot clock is at 5. Hayes, miscommunication, but Spray was there. Her shot never made it to the rim. Koenig, prior to the shot, there's an offensive foul. And that was Ely who was driving, so the foul goes against the Wolfpack.
Good job by Kendall Spray to get in position and take the contact. Those are the kind of plays you need when you play in NC State. You got to have the plays that create some emotion and just turn the tide, turn the momentum. And NC State on the defensive end takes advantage, and the finish. Excellent job by Boyd.
So the lead now 4. The only lead that the Tigers have had, 2-0. They scored the first basket. Then NC State scored the next 7 points and led by as many as 8 in that first quarter. Hayes. Side rim to Koenig. Jumper is good from Boyd. That's 4 points now for Jada Boyd, the freshman. Hayes trying to back it in on Canane. Over the top is Boyd. Ely, bounce pass, Canane filling the lane. She hits the floor and a foul is called on the drive by Canane.
Jada Boyd is one of the great freshmen on this NC State team. She is helping her team out in transition.
The lead is 6 for the visiting NC State Wolfpack. 19-1 on the season. Number 7 in the nation. Takes us right to news and notes. They are one of 3 teams in the top 15, Kelly Deo, out of the ACC.
Yeah, that's less than we've seen in ACC in years past, but those are 3 very good teams, very capable of making a deep run in the tournament.
3 teams unbeaten at home as well, includes the Wolfpack and Jocelyn Willoughby from Virginia, the leading scorer. As the Wolfpack working for those second chance opportunities in this first half.
Now, we knew that would be a part of Clemson's game, but NC State has come in and really taken advantage on the offensive glass. 11 second chance points, many of those for 3. Look at this. Gets a rebound, kicks it out, and then Ace Koenig drops the triple. And that is so painful if you are playing defense for 30 seconds and then you give that up only to have a 3 shot in your face.
Although NC State has cooled off recently from long distance, they've missed their last 4 chances after starting 6 of 8 from beyond the arc. And now Canane, number 33 in red and black, is going to go to the free throw line. These will be our first free throws of the evening.
Coming off a game, Tom, where she was 14 of 16 from the free throw line against North Carolina. It was unbelievable. And I think what that spoke to was the fact that she was the player who got players fouled out of that game. You think Janelle Bailey went out of that game. Shatenge fouled out 5 in that game as well. That's because of how much they were worried about the play of Elisa Canane.
4 points in the game now for Canane after the free throws. I'm thinking she was looking forward to that home game against North Carolina, because in early January, after winning their first 14 games of the season, NC State went to Carolina and lost at Carmichael Arena, and Canane only had 8 points a season low.
It's her only single-digit performance in ACC play, and I know she was wanting some redemption. She got it at home. That was a sold-out Reynolds Coliseum, and that had to be a fun environment to play in.
This is Hank deep into the shot clock. Cotton misses. Tigers won't get another chance, even though Destiny Thomas came out of there with the basketball. And it's turnover number 6 in the first half for Amanda Butler's team. You think about what she did last year. They went 9-7 in the ACC. They won 20 games, their first 20-win season since '01. And the year prior to her arrival, they won 1 ACC game.
Yeah, that story was tremendous. She was the ACC Coach of the Year because of what she was able to put together for this team. And, you know, you went from thinking, oh, Clemson at the bottom of the ACC to thinking, oh, that's where I want to go. I want to go play for this coach. And I love what she's putting together. I love the kids she's recruiting. She has created a great environment here at Clemson to be successful.
And they made the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2002. Cherry picked up the foul, her first. So Cotton and Thomas come out of the lineup for the Tigers. NC State with the basketball. 3:46 to go in our second quarter, and it's an 8-point lead. Canane fighting for position inside. Unable to get it to her. Shot clock's down to 3. Hack turns it over. So a traveling violation gives the ball back to the Tigers. Mertens. Nick Cherry has to send it back out. Again, the shot clock is down to 6. Cherry needs to shoot it. Got it away. Did not hit the rim. Shot clock violation against Clemson.
Terrific defense on these last 2 possessions for the Wolfpack. They've defended where they need to. They have contested shots, and they have allowed that shot clock to go off 2 consecutive times.
So Hayes and Thornton provide some size in that lineup immediately. Hank, one of the players coming out for the Tigers. 2 points in the game for Hank, 1 of 4 from the floor. And now Hayes, who has 5 points. Thornton, who has 2. She's the leading scorer this season for the Tigers. They're back in the lineup. Late in the second quarter. Koenig too strong. Canane rises for the board and puts it in.
And another offensive rebound. A couple more second chance points for the Wolfpack.
Turnovers an issue. 5 of them in the last 4.5 minutes for the Tigers. And they have not scored in almost 5 minutes. They've taken that shot clock relatively deep on their last few possessions. That one kicked by Brown Turner to stop the clock.
Amanda Butler said, I'm okay with the first shot, but I am not okay with the Wolfpack getting a second shot. Elisa Canane with the offensive board and bucket. And that is not what Clemson needs to see as they continue into this game.
Largest lead of the game now at 10. Brown Turner defending. It comes to Thornton. Gets a soft bounce.
That's
on her home rim.
Yeah, she's been successful there, about 15 feet away from the bucket. I'd love to see her a little bit more on the block, going one-on-one, maybe against Canane, maybe it's against Boyd inside.
4 points now for Thornton, who shoots 43% from the field on the season. That's 7 points and 4 boards at Virginia Tech. Boyd came up short on the close-in shot. Here's Spray. Lines up a three. Long rebound to Brown-Turner. So run it back the other way. Minute and a half to go in our second quarter. Koenig reversing direction and hitting the mid-range.
I love her shot. Every time she rises up and flips that wrist, it is pretty. I mean, look at this. Dribbles through her legs. Beautiful release. Easy two for the senior.
That puts a cap on a 12-2 run to extend the lead to 10, 34-24 in our second quarter for Ace Koenig, who now has 8 points. She leads the way right now in scoring. Robinson has 8 on the other side for the Tigers, who just called a timeout because of the 12-2 run.
Well, they've done it on the defensive end. Obviously, they've been able to hit shots thanks in part to the offensive rebounding, but they've really committed to that defense, and they have been able to get stop after stop.
Koenig also has a couple of three-point baskets. That's 52 made threes on the season, and that leads the team. Robinson. Shot clock at 10. Just over a minute to go in our second quarter. Robinson allowed the defender to go on by and hit the jumper.
Robinson playing more of a post early in the season, but they've moved her to that 3-guard position. She's been able to be freed up to put the ball on the floor and score.
She's into double digits now with 10 points. That's a game-high 10 from Robinson. And the 13th time this season she's gotten to double digits in scoring. Koenig wide open, and that's basically like a layup for number 1 in black.
Yeah, you know it's going in the second that pass is made. Her hands are ready, her feet are set, and it's a pretty shot.
Kelly, she has double digits now with 11 points for Koenig. 9th time this season that she's gotten to double digits in scoring, and the 52nd time in her career. Final seconds of our second quarter. Thornton, athletic.
She's better off the bounce.
Long range heave, it's out of bounds with 3.1 on the clock.
Now Clemson with an opportunity, if they can get the ball up the floor, to at least get a shot off.
Of course, NC State, either way, is going to have the halftime lead. They are 17-1 this season. With that halftime lead, their record this year, 19-1. And 8-1 in conference play. 3.1 seconds on the clock. Tigers get the shot away with Thomas. A little bit of backboard, a little bit of rim, but that'll do it for our first half.
Started off strong, both teams attacking, but NC State, the defense picked up, and they have been able to get a much bigger lead coming into halftime.
The lead was as many as 10. It's 9 at halftime for Westmore and the visiting NC State Wolfpack. Halftime from Tiger Town, straight ahead. ACC College Hoops from Clemson, South Carolina, and the visiting Wolfpack with a 37-28 lead, led by as many as 11 in that first half. Trying to solve the 2-3 zone of the Tigers. It's time to go back to Kelly's Corner, and with the help of the Clemson Tigers, we examine more of that 2-3 defensive alignment for the Tigers.
The high post is a really vulnerable part inside the zone, so they are going to walk me through what happens along the backside when I receive a pass inside to the high post from the perimeter. Okay, so I pass, I turn, and then tell me what happens.
So our middle is going to come out and take that pass, and so like I will probably have somebody on the block that will be on top and smash. So our smash is basically just like making sure you have this area covered and making sure that you're aware of the people around you. And then Kobe on this side will have a shooter, So she will try to stay in, but also be aware that the shooter's over there. And even if I don't have a person here, I'm still going to stay in and then be able to get to the shooter on the pass.
Okay, so say the ball now is, I received the pass to the high post or to this elbow area from the wing. And so walk me through whose responsibility is this up here and where does Tyler go?
So that ball side high post would be our guard, because after the ball is passed, we'll have one guard on the ball and then the other guard would be on the nail, which is kind of like this middle high post area. So they'll be responsible for that pass, and then Tyler will be here on ball side just making sure the paint is covered, and if that person was to drive or something, then Tyler would be able to step up and pick it up. And just like Kobe will dig. We also call dig just basically like a jab and go or a hedge and go, but she also has to be aware of her shooter on that side.
Okay, so the second vulnerable part of the zone that we talked about was that short corner area. So say I receive the ball in this short corner, which you guys call
sweet spot.
The sweet spot. Okay.
Yeah.
So I get the ball in the sweet spot, and is she already out? Like, say I've received the pass from maybe the wing or maybe even that corner position. Walk me through what happens here defensively.
So once that pass is in the sweet spot, so our middle and our forward on ball side will kill, and then so everybody will find people that are around what you call the escape passes. So like the guard that was on ball would probably find anyone in that area that could possibly get the ball, and then this ball side guard that's on the nail, they'll get anybody in that high post area, and then the weak side forward, which is me, will step up and get anybody in this paint area.
Okay, so that is where there's probably a lot less help. Am I right? So a guard would come down and help you as well?
Yes, just if the ball gets in, like the guard will come and be like a smash too, and help get that weak side rebound.
And that is Kelly's corner. Amari Robinson knows that defensive alignment inside and out. If Amanda Butler needs another assistant coach, call on Robinson.
I'm also going to say TV analyst. This girl can talk.
I mean,
she was so impressive. I loved my time with her. But it was fun to be able to break that down with them. I ran this at Notre Dame. We won a national championship in a 2-3 zone. But a lot of people do things differently. And right now, you know, we saw a very strong first quarter, I think, from NC State against that zone. But they were able to do a much better job at limiting those three-point shots in the second.
Yes, 6 of 8 made by NC State from beyond the arc in that first quarter. Just 1 of 8 from three-point distance in the second quarter. And the lead is a manageable 9 points for Clemson, trailing the number 7 team in the country.
Yeah, and we've seen a couple of times right now where Clemson has been able to stop this NC State offense in the zone. Look, you see the entry pass into the post, and Kobe Thornton is supposed to stay in, just as Amari Robinson said, and go for the double. The other vulnerable spot that we mentioned is the high post. They're going to swing it around. Look at the positioning of those Clemson defenders, doing a great job being active. You'll see slips into the high post. The guard takes her. And I believe that maybe I don't know if that was a walk in that situation, but a much better job at going through almost 30 full seconds of defense, and that's what you're hoping out of that 2-3 zone.
Held Canaan to just 6 points in the first half. The problem was, though, NC State got 11 from Koenig, who was connecting from three-point distance, as she often does. 9-point difference at halftime. When we come back, we're going around the ACC. Check out some of the scores from a big night of ACC women's basketball. Please stay with us.
ACC College Hoops is brought to you by Bojangles Sausage Biscuits. It's bow time. And LS Tractor. Visit us at lstractorusa.com.
You come to Clemson, you got to stop by the SO Club and meet up with the Kelly Dale fan club. Always coming to the bar and enjoying themselves at the SO Club. Here at Littlejohn Coliseum, we've got a 9-point game. We've had some exciting action in that first half. This is one of 7 games going on in ACC women's basketball tonight. And it features those Louisville Cardinals. They're at the top of the standings. We showed you that at the top of the broadcast. 9-0 in conference play and 7-1 on the road. They are on the road. And here are those standings with the Cards at the top. Look at the Wolfpack, 8-1. The only loss at North Carolina this season.
Yeah, you look at the middle of the pack, there's so much parity. I mean, anybody can go in and take a game from anybody, probably minus those couple at the top. Those have been a lot more difficult to get wins from, but a lot of people very impressive this season.
They are defending champs in the ACC, the Fighting Irish, down there with that 2-6 record. Work to do for the Irish. Right to the scoreboard, and we talked about the Irish against Louisville, and at halftime, the Cards looking strong as the number 5 team in the nation as we go around the league and check out the scores.
That Virginia-North Carolina game, I've got my eye on that. North Carolina, a team that has done a very good job. The only team to take down NC State, and they are leading Virginia right now. Georgia Tech and Miami as well. And remember, Miami without Beatrice Montpremier, just a 2-point game right now.
Yeah, Boston College with a strong performance so far on the road against Florida State. The Noles are one of 3 teams in the top 15 as far as the rankings are concerned in the national rankings out of the ACC, joined by Louisville and, of course, the NC State team that we're watching tonight, the number 7 team in the nation. This is all going to lead up to Greensboro and the ACC Women's Tournament. Yes, the Greensboro Coliseum, the home for the 2020 ACC Women's Tournament. The 14-game, 5-day event begins on March 4th. Ticket books for all the games, just $99. To purchase your tournament tickets, visit Ticketmaster.com. The 20th year that the Greensboro Coliseum will be our home for the ACC Women's Tournament. Myself, Kelly, many of our colleagues will join us there in Greensboro for the ACC Tournament with Notre Dame as the defending champs. Koenig connecting on the mid-range, 11 points to lead the way for the Pack. Teams are back on the court, ready for the third quarter. Moments away. NC State Wolfpack, Clemson Tigers, long-time ACC rivals. Ace Koenig in that first half. 3 3-point baskets and 11 points.
She was tremendous. She got them going from the perimeter. The offensive rebound secured that 3-point shot. She's got one of the prettiest shots I've ever seen. I mean, I might say best in the ACC. I absolutely love it when she puts the ball in the air. Now on the other side, Amari Robinson, this freshman, I've called a couple Clemson games, but this is her breakout game for me that I've been able to watch her. She has done everything on the point. She handles the ball outside on the perimeter. Nice little reverse layup here. This is as the shot clock was expiring, or excuse me, the game clock, to bring us into the second quarter. And look at the excitement after that. That's just a freshman. I love it.
You inspired her in Kelly's corner. She was your main guest as the Tigers were working on the 2-3 zone. She's working on scoring points with 10 points to lead the way for the Tigers in that first half.
Yeah, offensive rebounds in favor of Clemson there, but Wolfpack also doing a good job on the boards. They are taking advantage of those second chance points. Blocks, we said early, Kobe Thornton is a block machine. She's been able to get going, and there's the side-by-side. Both post players pretty much canceling each other out in terms of points. Canane all over the boards as we'd expect.
Thornton credited with 2 blocks in that first half. Canane with the 6 points. Played 17 minutes in that first half and went 2 of 5 from the floor. Thornton 15 minutes of action and 3 of 4 on field goal attempts for Kobe Thornton. Here we go at the second half, start of the third quarter. So glad that you're with us for ACC Women's Basketball from Tiger Town, Clemson, South Carolina. First points of the second half belong to NC State, Littlejohn.
Just an assignment miss there on the defensive end. It looked like Robinson didn't know who she was supposed to be guarding. And that's the way to start for Clemson. Bringing Spray off of the screen. She gets her own offensive rebound, but that gets tipped.
Koenig made the play defensively. Jones with that last basket is into double digits now with 10 points. Cotton trying to provide the answer. Hank outduels Canane for the offensive board. And then gives it right to Koenig. 1-on-2. Just staring at that 3-point line. Ace Koenig and a timeout on the court. Koenig all smiles after the 3-ball for the Pack.
ACC College Hoops is brought to you by your local Ford dealer, Myrtle Beach Golf Trail, and the Works switch driver, 2-in-1 drill and driver.
Clemson, South Carolina. And the Clemson Tigers trailing NC State, which is connected on a couple of threes early in this quarter, and now they throw it away. 9th turnover of the game for the Tigers.
What a great adjustment out of the timeout. The 2-2-1 full court pressure from NC State. Clemson doesn't expect it, and they turn the ball over.
Inside Littlejohn Coliseum. NC State had a win in its most recent game on Sunday against North Carolina, 76-68, despite shooting just 39%, and Koenig is in the zone. 17 points for Koenig.
She's taken 12 shots. 11 of them have been from the three-point line.
5 made threes, ace Koenig. Spray wants one, and it's all net. Spray is ripping ropes for the Tigers, and she's got 6 points.
Yeah, they need more of that. They have a lot of offensive sets where they run her off of double, even triple screens to get open. She needs to start getting hot in this game.
Stolen by the Tigers. China Cotton leads the break. Tries the Euro step. Deserved a better fate, possibly, as that one bounced out. Koenig. No hesitation whatsoever. Bullseye. 20 points. Ace Koenig.
That's not enough to be near her on the defensive end. You've got to have a hand in her face and be there on the catch.
Koenig coming off a 16-point performance on Sunday against North Carolina, where she made 4 three-pointers. She's got 6 made threes in this game, and that ties a career high for Koenig, who's running the floor. Drops it off unselfishly to Crutchfield on the state break.
Stat stuffer right now is Aislinn Koenig with that assist. Nice shots in transition. Haven't seen a ton of that for either team so far.
It is the largest lead of the game for the moment as Spray hits a 3 out of the corner. That's now 9 points for Spray, and 3 made three-point baskets on 8 attempts from beyond 20 feet 9 inches away. Brown Turner open for 3, came up short. Followed her miss, gave it to Canane. Second effort, no good. Brown Turner. Canane off of her fingertips and out of bounds to the Tigers.
Aislinn Koenig, 6 threes for her on this game. She had 6 in that loss against UNC. They're not there on time, the Clemson defense, and she's making them pay. And how about the assist? She drops it off inside. Beautiful look for her teammate. She's been all over the place offensively and just too much for this Clemson defense to handle.
6 made threes in the game for Koenig. NC State as a team is 4 of 5 on three-point chances. That's a traveling violation against Meertens. And turnover number 11 for the Tigers. They are 2 of 6 from the floor in this second half, and that includes a couple of threes from Spray. Jones. An alleyway to the rim. She gets the bucket. Appeared to be in some discomfort on the way down, but she is going to the free throw line.
Hey, you never like to see that, but the defense just completely leaves her. She's got a lane to the bucket. Tyler Bennett trying to come over, but that is an and one. She's well enough to at least take these free throws.
73% on the season for Kayla Jones, the junior from Janesville, North Carolina. 13 points in the game for Jones. That's above her season average of 10.1.
And she's from the same hometown as Westmore's wife, Linda. So I guess Linda, a huge Kayla Jones fan.
Meertens around the screen of Bennett. Canane pulls it down on the outlet to Koenig. Crosses it over. Brown Turner. Will go out of bounds in front of the NC State bench and back to the Tigers. 20-point lead for Coach Moore's team, number 7 in the nation. Arrived in Clemson, South Carolina with a 19-1 record. Won their first 14 games this season. Won their first 21 last year before losing to North Carolina. And that set a school record. 21 straight to start the season.
And remember, again, that's the season where 4 players went down with ACL tears. So to have that 21-0 start was just tremendous.
There is a timeout on the court in the third quarter, which right now belongs to the NC State Wolfpack.
You know, I think back-to-back Sweet 16s, now you get greedy. You want more. And so we'd like to take, you know, some more steps. And that's hard. I mean, the ACC is really tough, and then women's basketball in general has gotten really good. So it's not easy, but we're fortunate to have a lot of veterans. We have a really nice freshman class.
And they're 19-1 on the season and have a sizable lead, Kelly Deo, here late in our third quarter, 54-34.
Now, I talked to Wes Moore about that game against UNC, the one that he just played on Sunday, where they got the win against them after having lost earlier in the season. And I said, you know, you must be pleased with the way that you played. And he said, you know, he laughed. He said, no, I am always looking for ways that we can improve. He said he was not happy with their transition defense. He said a lot could be done to clean up that game.
Up to number 7 in the nation, working on a 5-game winning streak. That is the best streak in the league outside of Louisville, which is above them at number 5. The Cardinals have won 12 in a row, and they're at Notre Dame tonight. Also in the top 15, Florida State. They're number 14 in the nation.
And NC State will get Louisville at home this season, so a great opportunity for them.
Thornton on the catch and release on the inbounds. Crafty.
Yeah, they worked on that play and shoot around today, and a couple of those players able to catch in the air and finish like that. They've got some tremendous posts on this team for Amanda Butler.
You know, another layer to that Louisville game. Louisville has eliminated NC State at the ACC tournament 3 straight years and twice in the semifinals in the last 2 years. So there's a score to settle between those two programs.
Inbound was pretty. Look at the screen against the middle there. Just enough time for Kobe Thornton to catch. And check out the high release. Look, it doesn't come down at all. She's way off the floor. Has got a tremendous vertical and is still able to finish.
She should get some style points in addition to the 2 that she got for the jumper.
Absolutely.
Canane, strong free throw shooter, over 75% on the season from the line for Canane. Now 8 points. She's 2 of 7 from the floor. Does have 7 boards. And Canane is the leading rebounder in the ACC.
How about that? Sticker coming into the game and catches and hits a 3.
The other end, Crutchfield misses and Hank pulls it in. Kaylee Sticker, the freshman from Dawsonville, Georgia. Her 11th 3 of the season. Seeing action in her 14th game this year.
A lot of these young players from Amanda Butler's team are getting early minutes and being able to become a lot more comfortable in ACC play.
Meerton's on the handoff, takes a look at that shot clock. In rhythm, little rhythm dribble, and then the jumper.
I was just about to say Meerton should have taken it to the rack. That's what she had done in that first half. But I stand corrected with that good-looking jumper.
Brown-Turner. Look at Jones come flying in. Koenig stops. Does not get the roll. Brown-Turner as NC State dominates the offensive glass in this sequence. Looking for a 3rd chance, but they won't get it. Meertens has it. Sticker. Both sides of the rim. Thornton came over the top. Jones had the position. And that is on Thornton, her first personal foul. Tigers cutting into that lead just a little bit here. Latter stages of our third quarter as Hayes returns to the lineup for the Tigers. 5 points in the game for Hayes, and that includes a three-point basket. Hank removed from the Tiger lineup. Brown Turner, one dribble and a layup, and Canane found her cutting to the rim.
Clemson had tried to put on a little pressure, and NC State just perfect passes to find the open look.
Pack had made their first 5 shots of the quarter, cooled off a little bit. 2 of 11 since after the layup from Brown Turner. Thornton, silky smooth.
When I look at that, I'm like, this is a player at the next level. That's a WNBA move. Turn and face, check the defense, and elevate, and knock down a shot. When she can create some consistency, I think she could have a great WNBA career.
10 points for Thornton. Double digits for the 66th time in her career, and that's an overly aggressive move from Jones. And an offensive foul is called, and the first on Jones.
I love the turn and face. That's where she's at her best. Look at this. Looks at the defense. Jones backs off just a second. And the high release from Thornton is unstoppable. And then pays it off with the defensive play on the other side of the floor. She comes up grimacing, but her team gets possession.
Thornton closing in on 1,300 career points. Already has over 700 rebounds, although NC State makes the play defensively. 2-on-2. Koenig. A rare miss from Koenig this evening. 2 players, Hayes and Jones, trying to claim ownership of that basketball. It's going to be Tiger ball. 1:56 to go in our third quarter. Thornton coming out along with Robinson. So Thornton leads with 10 points. Robinson also has 10, and they are the 2 double-digit scorers in the game for the Tigers. Near 10's around Canane, all the way to the rack.
She was patient. Canane came on a high hedge, and she waited for her to release and got around her. Good job with the finish.
So the lead was 9 at halftime. Canane, Brown Turner, and Cherry could not recover defensively and commits the foul.
That was a good diagonal look there, but how about this drive? Look at Canane on the hedge. She cannot take Mertens one-on-one. Mertens knows it, and she takes advantage.
Foul was on Cherry for Clemson. Mertens coming out of the lineup. Brown Turner, if there's a slight weakness in her game, might be at the free throw line, 58% of the season. Didn't see it there at all, though. 10.7 boards. Jakia Brown Turner, freshman from Oxon Hill, Maryland.
Coach Moore said he has been impressed with her since the moment she stepped on campus. Knew she'd be great. She was a 5-star recruit. But it's hard to start in this league as a freshman, and the fact that she's been able to do so and be a big contributor says a lot about her game and the potential for her as a player.
Double digits for her in 5 of her last 7 games, and now 10 times this season to double figures in scoring. Brown Turner. Crutchfield comes down with it.
Clemson did everything they could to get Spray a shot. And how about the transition? Great job for Jones attacking the gap there, and she finds a home.
15 points now for Jones. Final 45 seconds of the third quarter. Shot clock is inside of 10. Spray around the screen. It was a missed 3. Canane tried for the one-handed board. 3 players hit the floor. 24.5 seconds to go in our third quarter.
Make her miss. NC State wants to run, and Jones fills the lane. She receives the pass from her guard and is able to finish.
Kayla Jones, a junior out of Riverside High School. Janesville, North Carolina.
She's had to earn her minutes. Wes Moore said she probably didn't like me much when she first got to campus, but now I play her a lot.
She's tied her career high with the 15 points tonight. One last chance. Spray needs to get that away, and Koenig deflected it. So NC State will take that lead into the fourth quarter. Here on the Clemson campus, Bowman Hall, all lit up here in Tigertown. Wes Moore's NC State Wolfpack owning that third quarter, making 4 3-point baskets. Ace Koenig, what a night it has been for her. 20 points for Koenig. She leads all scorers, and 6 made threes to tie a career high for Koenig. The Tigers are going to need a big-time comeback here in the fourth, trailing by 17 after they trailed by 9 at halftime. 62-45 as we revisit Kelly's keys to the game tonight between the Pack and the Tigers.
And the Pack needed to handle their pressure, and they have done so. 9 turnovers for NC State. They don't want to have many more than that, but Clemson hasn't scored a ton, which is how they set up their pressure, and so they've done a good job on the defensive end. And then for Clemson, limit those 3-point shots, and they have not been able to do that tonight. 11 for 26 already for NC State. It started early, and it has continued thanks in part to the play of Aislinn Koenig.
Those Clemson turnovers have been an issue. 11 of them tonight. 17 points for the Pack off of those turnovers. Just 4 points for Clemson off 9 NC State turnovers. Ace Koenig has not missed a second of this game and has those 20 points. 11 made threes. NC State made 10 in the victory Sunday against North Carolina. Shot 47% from beyond the arc. Their highest in an ACC game as far as percentage from 3-point distance is concerned for the Pack.
Just one starter on the floor for Clemson right now. Great opportunity for these young kids to come in and play together and see what they can do in this fourth quarter. You wonder if Coach might be sending a message to some of her other starters.
Meertens. That's 8 points for her after that jumper. Told you that NC State has dominated this series most recently, seeking their 11th straight win in the series and 6th in a row here in Clemson against the Tigers. How about the passing? Brown Turner couldn't provide the finish. There was a foul inside on a second chance for NC State, and free throws are upcoming.
That's a great way to deliver the pass, too, from the baseline, because you've got your defense completely sagging down, and NC State able to take some inside position to receive that pass.
Erica Cassell is at the free throw line. Sticker returns to the game. She's got a 3. So NC State at this point, as it heads back to the line, has not missed. They're 7 of 7 from the line. The Tigers, also perfect. The unfortunate part for the Tigers is they haven't been to the line. Haven't had a chance from the free throw line tonight.
And that's something as a coach, you know, you can look at 2 ways. One, the officiating. I feel like this crew has done a tremendous job. Though the other is, have I gotten myself there? And you have to play an aggressive game and attack, especially when you have a highly ranked opponent in your home floor. You've got to attack and get to the foul line.
NC State has only committed 6 fouls in this game. As we told you, the last win in the series for the Tigers came in January of 2011. Barring a big-time comeback, they may be facing the same fate tonight against one of the best in the nation, the NC State Wolfpack and Ace Koenig.
7 threes now for Aislinn. 50% shooting from outside.
That's a new career high for made threes for Koenig. The Wolfpack senior has put on a show tonight. 23 points for Koenig, and that leads everybody in scoring this evening at Littlejohn Coliseum. Strong drive from Hayes.
It's my Minnesota girl. We played on the same AAU team, North Tartan, and I've loved watching her really become such a solid player for this Clemson team. The last couple games, as I mentioned, that great game against Virginia Tech, and she's earned some more minutes here tonight.
13 points was a career high at Virginia Tech for Hayes in the loss on Sunday for the Tigers. Hayes Koenig's making it look easy out there, Kelly.
Yeah, it seems effortless. Look at that. The kick out, nobody there. Hits the career high 7-3. I mean, not even a reaction. You love that from this senior.
She's closing in on her career high as well. That's 26 points. She's got 23 tonight. Senior from Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. Lopes back in. Thomas out. 7:17 to go in our fourth quarter. We're glad that you joined us tonight for ACC women's basketball. You're looking at one of the best teams in the nation in NC State in the traveling black as Brown Turner misses out of the corner. Tom Wormy along with Kelly Dale, a member of that 2001 national championship team from Notre Dame. And Meerton's getting your attention over here, Kelly.
Yeah, she's the third player in double figures now for Clemson. But how about NC State never slowing that down? That's off a made shot, and they're still able to get some buckets in transition.
Looking to extend their winning streak to 6 games. A couple of wins on the road at Notre Dame and Pittsburgh, and home wins against Florida State, Wake, and most recently North Carolina. For the NC State Wolfpack with the win Sunday. Sticker around the edge against 2 defenders. Cannot break through. Boyd. And was knocked away from Brown Turner for a moment. Out of bounds and staying with the pack. Crutchfield in for NC State. Three double-digit scores for the Wolfpack. Jones with 15, Brown Turner with 12, but eclipsed by Koenig in her 23. She's on the handle right now for the Wolfpack. Tried to get it to Cassell, reaching in with Sticker.
You mentioned the double-digit scorers for NC State. The player that's not in there that's a surprise is Elisa Cunane, only 8 points. As we said, she's only done that one other time in ACC play. That was the loss to UNC. I don't believe that will be the outcome tonight, but she is not on the floor and just did not come up with a huge scoring output tonight.
Fouls against the pack, and Boyd. That's the first on Boyd. Coach really didn't need the productivity from Cunane tonight.
Camille Hobby in the game right now. This is a player that a lot of these Clemson fans know. Her dad was a coach here at Clemson, and she's able to see some minutes. I have a friend on the football team currently for Clemson, Ashley and Brandon Streeter, and she said a lot of the coaches' wives and some of the husbands that are in town and not recruiting were going to be at this game to see Hobby be able to get in, and so great that she's able to have some minutes here tonight.
Number 41 in the black and red of the NC State Wolfpack, freshman from Jacksonville, Florida. Shot clock winding down for the Tigers, and Thornton goes up and grabs it. Sticker's shot was deflected by Koenig. Throws it ahead to Crutchfield. Tough catch. Hobby, an easy turnaround. First basket for Hobby, who just came into the game, and her father, Marion, will be pleased with that. Former Clemson assistant. on the staff for the 2016 National Championship team.
Not
here in
bad.
Clemson.
Think of how many times that Clemson football team has been to the national title
They
game.
have set the standard.
They sure have.
Another visit to that title game this year. LSU just a little bit too strong. Koenig misses. Haven't said that a whole lot tonight.
Meertens has come in and played an excellent game. She's done that very well. Attacked the basket.
Earned some free throws as well. So with the Wolfpack out in front here in the fourth, our hosts tonight, the folks here at Clemson. Time for the big bowl moments, and it features Ace Koenig from NC State.
She started early, and it was often for her career-high 7 threes on the night. She's still got some game left to play, but able to knock it down from inside as well. And how about the assist? She's just been a stat stuffer this evening, and it has been a fun game to watch. That's one of the prettiest strokes I've seen in all of the ACC.
The big bowl moments from Ace Koenig, who's played 35.5 minutes tonight. Just short of her career high. As Kelly mentioned, the 7 threes is a career high. This after scoring 16 points and making 4 threes on Sunday in the game against North Carolina. She talks with Director of Operations Houston Fancher. All right, let's check out some of the scores from tonight. We've got a couple of finals. How about OT in Coral Gables, Kelly?
Wow. Miami on top. How about that? Georgia Tech, a very tough team to play, but Miami's tough at home. Again, without Beatrice Montpremier. Close one in the fourth quarter. Boston College right now over-ranked Florida State.
Florida State's got a 2-game winning streak going on. NC State's about to extend its winning streak to 6 games. And the Louisville Cardinals on their way to their 13th straight win under Jeff Walz. They were our host last week. We were there Thursday to watch them defeat the Virginia Cavaliers. And they followed that up with a win at home against Pittsburgh, 83-49 on Sunday.
They remind me a lot of that Notre Dame team from last season, where they're just equipped at every level. Every position has a potential 20-point score.
Knocked around. Timeout called by Coach Butler and granted by the official standing right in front of her, John Capolino. So we have a timeout on the floor with 4:23 to go. By the way, Koenig is up to 270 career threes, second best in school history. See if she can chase down the school leader, Jennifer Howard, 315. Greensboro is the destination for our tournament, the 20th time that Tournament Town has hosted the ACC Women's Tournament. Look at the ticket books. They start at just $99. Enormous value for all of the action you'll see. Wall to wall, ACC basketball, and the winner fighting for the trophy. That's what Kelly Dale thinks. ACC tournament predictions. Wow, Kelly, lay it on us.
I know, there it is. I mean,
Wow.
you know, when you think about the fact that the ACC had 8 teams last year, as Meerten gets that bucket, I don't think 8 will go this season. I think 6 are a solid. I love the way Virginia Tech just continues to keep their place among those elite in the ACC, and I think they're going to go to the NCAA this year, and that would be a first for Kenny Brooks as a head coach for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, they've had WNIT success, made it to the title game a couple years ago for Virginia Tech.
And we said, too, to keep an eye on Wake Forest. And the job Jen Hoover has done has been tremendous. She keeps on winning games. I mean, she had 1 ACC win last season. Right now, she's 12-8 on the season. And she could be a contender in the NCAA if she continues to win some games.
They won at home against Syracuse on Sunday, 65-60. Wake Forest at Pittsburgh tonight. Saw our ACC scoreboard with a couple of finals, included a win for North Carolina. Team that NC State defeated on Sunday, 76-68. The Tar Heels responsible for the only loss this year for Westmore's team. after they started 14-0. 25 wins a season ago. And this will be win number 20 on the year. 5 straight years with 20 or more wins for Coach Moore in this NC State program.
Yeah, he's a winner at every level. He's been Chattanooga. We already said the success he's had there. He came here, and it's been the same story. And Lopes gets a 3 to go. Amanda Butler must be pleased with the way her young players continue to come in the game and contribute.
Isis Lopes, just her second made 3 of the year for the freshman from Australia. So some valuable minutes for the younger players for both teams, for that matter. Tigers are going to drop to 7-14 and 3-7 in conference play and lose their 3rd in a row. They lost 2 games on the road at Miami and at Virginia Tech. Boyd is at the line for the Pack. This is the 11th free throw of the night for NC State. Just 2 free throw attempts in the game for the Tigers. 9-point lead at halftime. But it was a dominant performance in the 3rd quarter by the Wolfpack to extend their lead to 17, 62-45. And it appears that they're going to cruise to a victory on the road. Make it 6 in a row on the road here at Clemson.
This is what we expected from NC State coming into this game. I think the thing we did not expect is Hobby gets another shot to fall. That's her 4th point now, is Elisa Canane. You know, she was not able to get going from the inside. That has to feel good if you're Clemson, because she was a big part of their defensive philosophy today in shutting her down.
Just 8 points for Canane, 7 rebounds, 11 double-doubles coming into the night to lead the league. This is the upcoming schedule. A couple of road games at Duke, at Virginia Tech, and then that matchup against Louisville. But that is at Reynolds Coliseum, where, to this point, NC State is unbeaten. In fact, one of the more remarkable things since that renovation of Reynolds Coliseum, and we should also note the wonderful multi-million-dollar renovation of this building as well, about 4 years ago. But in Reynolds Coliseum, since the renovation, NC State is 59-6 and 23-6 in ACC play. And by the way, if you're in the area, you get a chance to come to Littlejohn Coliseum or Reynolds Coliseum. Incredible refurbishments to those facilities. And Reynolds is just part of the fabric and tradition of the ACC. Twice it hosted the ACC women's tournament back in '79 and '82. Of course, we're going back to Greensboro, as we've noted on a couple of occasions. Tonight, that'll be the ACC women's tournament. And you can bet the NC State Wolfpack will be a factor. They have won that tournament 4 times, Kelly, but not since 1991. That was their last tournament championship.
And Westmore would love to get them back to those winning ways in that ACC tournament. You know, oftentimes you can win a season, a regular season, but it doesn't feel the same if you don't win your tournament. And how about another 3 for NC State? They just keep falling. That's 15 now on the day.
That's now 25 in their last 2 games from beyond the arc. Hobby looking for a 3. .122 to go in the 4th. Up next for Amanda Butler and the Tigers. Just like the Pack, they've got 2 straight road games. Got to go to North Carolina and Virginia. And then Boston College, Wake, and Miami. It is a mad scramble to the end of the finish line of the regular season. Louisville, the only undefeated team in conference play. And they were on their way to another victory tonight at last check. Would be the 13th in a row for the Cards. And our final minute here inside Littlejohn Coliseum. So Kelly, overall, NC State establishing tonight why it is the number 17 in the country and one of the best in the nation, especially when it comes to the three-point shot tonight.
Yeah, we came into this game saying that that would be the tall task of Clemson, to shut down the best three-point shooting team in the conference, and they were not able to do so. And I misspoke earlier. I said they had 15 threes. In fact, they have 14 threes. There is still time, though, Tom, with the way they've been shooting.
Those 14 threes, though, are a season high made in a game for NC State. Will they have time for one more chance? That's a foul inside. And the move by Hayes. Hobby picks up the personal. Just inside 16 seconds to go in regulation. So glad that you've been with us for our game this evening. One of 7 in the ACC. And we told you that tonight's win by the Pack, that's 5 straight years of 20 wins or more. Tell you what, the Tigers had that 2-0 lead, and that was about it tonight. Now, they only trailed 53 seconds, or 52 seconds rather, in their win against North Carolina, so they have played from out in front for the vast majority of their most recent games. And they did the same thing tonight, expanded their 9-point halftime lead to 17 after the third quarter, and never looked back.
And they've been impressive from start to finish. They executed offensively, they did the job defensively, and they've come away with the win tonight.
It's their 6th in a row and 20th on the season. 9-1 in conference play for Westmore, and the Pack 79-60. And Koenig led the way tonight with 23 points. She made 7 3-pointers, a new career high for made threes in a game for the senior and the ace, Aislinn Koenig. We'll take a quick breather. Step aside for a moment. 79-60 is our final count. NC State has won its 20th game of the year, and we've got more in just a moment. 79-60 is the final. Ace Koenig led the way for the Wolfpack with 23 points. She made 7 3-point baskets. And that is a new career high for the senior. Such a reliable scorer and a reliable presence for the Wolfpack. And the guy who led them to victory, your 20th win of the season, Coach Wes Moore, kind enough to join us, give us a couple of minutes. And, Coach, at halftime, this is just a 9-point game against a very well-coached team. What'd you tell them?
Well, again, we got to realize we go on the road. We're going to get everybody's A game. We're going to get their best shot, and we got to match their intensity. And I know at halftime they had 11 offensive rebounds. They were coming up with loose balls. We can't afford to relax. We got 3 straight road games. They're all going to be tough. I knew Amanda does a great job. I knew they'd be prepared. We really struggled guarding Robinson. She's only a freshman, so looking forward to seeing her for 3 more years. But again, proud of the way we came out in the second half and made a run and got a little bit of a lead.
Coach, I know you are the consummate corrector of something that you guys have done that you haven't necessarily liked, but what impressed you about your team tonight with this victory?
I'm a bad one to ask. You know, again, we hit shots. You know, I think we did a pretty good job with how we wanted to defend the scout and all those things. You know, obviously we knew Spray was an unbelievable shooter. She was able to get a few off and hit 3 threes on us, but for the most part, I thought we did a pretty good job. Like I said, Robinson really gave us trouble. And then Thornton, you know, I've been with USA Basketball the last few years. Thornton's been out there some. You know, she's so athletic, but her motor runs high, and that's what you look for in a player. So, again, they got a lot of good people. You know, Ace is my security blanket. Whenever we're in trouble, need a bucket, you can look to her to knock it down. Thought she did a great job, obviously. But the whole team did a better job in the second half.
Elisa Kanane, another one of those players that puts up a lot of points. She did not make double figures tonight, but were you impressed with some of those other players that came up with some points, maybe even some players off the bench, and were you excited to see the way that they contributed tonight?
Yeah, you know, again, Camille Hobby's a freshman that came in, did a pretty good job. I thought, you know, we tried. Obviously, we got another game Sunday, another road game, so you tried to monitor their minutes a little bit there in the fourth quarter. You know, Jada Boyd, again, is somebody off the bench that we're really trying to get something out of. And then Kayla Ely, you know, a graduate student, already got her master's, so been around for quite a while. She's probably the only kid in NCAA that's getting cost of attendance and Social Security. Okay,
hey, I'll tell the jokes here. Come on,
my bad.
Come on.
But she does a nice job for us. Kayla Jones has been somebody we relied on all year and does so many things for us. I thought she played really well. So, you know, Jakia Brown-Turner, another freshman, hit some big threes. So that's the good thing. Hopefully, if somebody's having an off night, we got somebody else to pick them up.
Coach, congrats on win number 20 this season. Your team is 20-1 now. A strong road victory against the Clemson Tigers.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very well played tonight. Ace Koenig was a big part of that. Once she got in rhythm with that three-point shot, Kelly Dale, she just kept knocking them down. She made 7 threes, but she did it within the confines of the game. She also got her teammates involved as well, and Koenig had 23 led all scorers.
Yeah, she got involved in the assist category. She got a couple rebounds. She is the security blanket, as we heard Coach Wes Moore say, for this team. Got one of the prettiest strokes I've seen in the ACC, and she made that shot look pretty easy tonight with her career-high 7 three-point looks.
Koenig knocking down the three-pointer. And from the highlights to the real thing, number 1, Ace Koenig, who was trying to run down the three-point record in the history of NC State. We'll get to that in just a moment. But how about the performance overall tonight, Ace? As I said to Coach, it was just a 9-point game at halftime.
You know, Clemson is a very talented team. They're great on the boards. They're super athletic, and they've been scoring in all positions on the floor. So coming in, it was really focusing on taking away what they want to get to, whether it's their three or their drive. And I think to start the game, we were a little bit slow doing that, and then we finally got our groove, and that allowed us to pull away a little bit.
And I know you're a shooter. I know you're also a point guard, but do you sort of internally get excited when you know somebody's about to play you in a zone, knowing that you have the potential to get some of those three-point shots off?
Yeah, and not just for me, but my team, we're a very talented shooting team. And, you know, you have Kai Crutchfield and Grace Hunter and Jakia Brown-Turner. So when somebody decides to play a zone, I think we all get really excited, and you can feel the energy coming from the team, especially when we're able to make those secondary passes and celebrate with each other.
We mentioned to Coach Elisa Kunane, you know, didn't have the numbers that are expected, but how proud are you of some of those other players that stepped up and were able to get into the scoring column?
It's awesome that we are able to get everybody involved, and you know, we had Camille, who did a good job in there for us, and Elisa is a fantastic player, and she makes it easier for me to be on the floor and to get shots, and you can't expect her to have the best game every game, and this was she still did great things. She rebounded well, she played good defense, and it was awesome to be able to see the younger players get in and do some good things for us.
The 7 threes tonight. Ace Koenig now has 270 career three-pointers, many more to come, and most importantly, win number 20 on the season. Congrats, Ace, and congrats to your teammates as well.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And they get the win on the road against the Clemson Tigers. Now, there were many layers to this game, and Kayla Jones was also an important one. She tied her career high, Kelly, with 15 points in this matchup.
And she's such an important part of this offense because she plays that off-post player next to Elisa Kunane, who gets a lot of attention, and she comes in and is able to get some buckets. And how about the long range as well, showing us a little bit of her three-point look, and in transition gets that shot to go. She was doing it all over the floor tonight.
Kayla Jones with the 15 points to tie her career high, and through the magic of television, she joins us for yet another interview with the victorious NC State Wolfpack. And what a performance tonight, really up and down the roster. We have mentioned on a couple of occasions that Elisa Kunane did not get her usual numbers, but the rest of the team, including yourself, picking up the slack quite nicely tonight.
Oh, yeah, we know Elisa could do what she do. We just know we got to keep her uplifted, and we got to come out and play like we do in practice. Coach prepared a whole bench to play, so we knew it takes a team to win. So it was a team effort.
We talked to Coach Westmore before the game about, you know, your play. As I told you, you're one of my favorite players on this NC State team. But he said that was time in coming. You know, when you first got in, you didn't get a lot of minutes. But what's that progression been like from your freshman year to now being a junior and being a starter and a focal point of this team?
This has been a lot of hard work and dedication to the game and just being patient. I would say that I could say my freshman year was pretty discouraging. Sophomore year, you know, still playing behind Dee Rogers, but I still learned from her and Chelsea Nelson. So I just find it now that I'm in a position to play and help the team, I just try to give it my all.
So you guys have been to 2 straight Sweet 16s. You've been a part of that, and I know you came off the bench last season, but how good do you guys think you could be this season?
I just pray that we could make it real far, you know. I feel like we have the team, the bench to come in, even when the starters are not doing their thing. I feel like the team, the bench players could come in and help also. So I feel like we can run deep, you know.
You're on your way. 20-1 now with the win against the Clemson Tigers. They've also defeated Clemson 11 straight times in the course of that rivalry, and they left nothing to chance after that third quarter, going up by 17 and ultimately winning this game 79-60. Thank you very much for your time,
Guys.
Kayla.
Thank you.
And again, 15 points, tied her career high as we look at the final numbers. Kelly Dale from tonight's game, 79-60 the win for the Wolfpack.
Well, you see the tempo very much in NC State's favor. How about the fast break points? Clemson not even able to get in the scoring column on the break. Points in the paint were sort of, you know, just about even there, but Clemson owning that category. But it's the threes. That was the game changer, 14 for NC State.
So it is an impressive victory by the Wolfpack. Our broadcast position here at Littlejohn Coliseum gives us close proximity to the head coach, Wes Moore. They were up by 19, 20. Not satisfied. And even in our interview, he said, I'm the worst person to ask and evaluate this team. I'll tell you what, you look at their record, 20-1, 7th in the country. It's a good ball club we saw tonight against this Clemson team.
Yeah, he's always trying to find the thing that he can get his team to improve upon. As I told you in that UNC game, even though it was a win, he didn't like the transition defense, and he wanted to talk about that to his players after the game. Would it surprise you? I mean, when you see how intense he is, I got to talk to you know, a few of the people at NC State. He sings to them. I mean, when he was coming into the pregame or to the shoot around, singing "My Girl" to his team. I mean, it's just two different.
School?
Two different personalities here, but you got to love that, you know, to be a part of a part of a team where somebody knows how to win, but also knows how to enjoy.
Yeah, keeps it light and tells some jokes during the interviews as well. We told you this was one of 7 games tonight. Let's take a look at some of the scores. And one of the big upsets there on that scoreboard. How about BC on the road for Coach Mack, 65-56 against Sioux Semrau and the number 14 team in the country.
Wow, what a great job. Boston College has been on the radar for a lot of teams. And that is a huge win for this program and for this second-year coach. And we see, obviously, one went to overtime. Miami coming out with that one at home over Georgia Tech.
Louisville has now won 13 games in a row as they go on the road and win 86-54 against Notre Dame. And one other game still going on, Virginia Tech and Syracuse, and that's at the half. And Virginia Tech has the lead there after Syracuse lost at Wake Forest on Sunday. So there's a look at the scoreboard tonight. But the numbers that matter tonight in our game, the three-point shots falling for NC State. They made 14. And that is a season high for made threes. They really did it in all aspects tonight, Kelly.
Yeah, they came out firing. We knew that was an area Clemson had to be careful about, but NC State, it was just too much tonight.
Ace Koenig was the leading scorer, 7 three-point baskets and 23 points for the Ace. And NC State wins at 79-60. For Kelly Dale and our entire crew, I'm Tom Wormy. I bid you good night from Clemson, South Carolina.